No, they'll be safe here, but
they took the time to patch you back up. You'll be all right.
Somewhere right.
Oh hell, I don't know.
Where are we looking at these squares? There we go. Yeah, this is where IEDs were, where these squares were taken out.
These long strips are here. Be like
probably a big old daisy chain right there.
It's steady out there, right?
Yeah.
Everybody sit in the back.
Thank you, Sergeant Potter.
Black Hawk Brawl. We haven't been there yet.
Off limits.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, President Obama and Secretary of Defense will be holding an on-site troop town hall meeting. There are lots of ways to submit your question.
Guard tower, big palace, and we have a big man-made lake here. One of them. One of few here. But it looks like it's just pretty.
We came in and fucked it up.
Before the army got here. Yeah, you can just see where probably somebody's big private beach house or something like that. Guard tower. Cool.
Lieutenant Ramos will be your guide today, so feel free to ask any questions along the way. I'll tell you a little bit about the camp before we go through here. Camp Slayer was mainly used by Saddam Hussein for vacation time. This was his version of a presidential retreat, his version of Camp David. So he wanted to come down here on vacation. This is where he would stay. Himself, his family, Bath Party House members, they would stay all along here. Now, Camp Slayer was bombed several times at the beginning of the war with JDAMs and Tomahawks. You can see some of that damage left here. But small little community, nice little camp. It's the smallest camp here on BBC. We only have about 3,000 people that stay here, 2,000 civilians, 1,000 military. Lots of hard stands, not very many Jews. We kind of like that here. But this structure here was one of Uday's many homes. Uday was Saddam's oldest son. He was the meanest, nastiest. Some even say he was possibly worse than Saddam himself, but he had a home here because he wanted to be nice and close to the Republican Guard, the military, which was also here on this camp, and he also wanted to be in charge of the military academy, which was also nearby. So he had a home here. You can see straight ahead, lots of damage there, was hit with the JDAM straight down the middle. If you look above the doorway here, you'll notice a passage there that says, may God bless his house forever. Didn't, because it got hit, but that's what it says. But you'll notice a lot of religious messages throughout the palaces, throughout the structures here, pretty much everywhere. Alright, so when you guys go through here, you'll notice that if you go straight, make a quick left, you'll notice a big mural kind of depicting a hunter's field. They were all avid hunters, Saddam and all of his family. And this was all farmland. This was all originally farmland. Saddam created all of these lakes and brought the water in, so they would hunt here. But when you go in, you make a left, you'll notice a picture there, and towards the back you'll notice two large murals. The one on the right is a classic traditional Iraqi painting, and the one on the left is just abstract art, so you guys can check that out. You can go down the middle or around the side here if you want to avoid all of the rubble. I do ask though that you don't go down that side towards the pool. There's a lot of dangling debris that's about to fall any minute, so don't want anyone to get hurt, so please be careful. But I'll give you about 10 minutes to walk around, take some pictures, and then we'll load back up in the vehicles and drive to our next stop. All right, do you guys have any questions? No?
Looks like an old fireplace. All bombed out. Very high ceilings. What'd you say? It's about a 40-foot ceiling? No kidding. Blowing to hell. See where there used to be a rail there, snapped off. Well. See where it was hit here, all that, whatever it was. Whoa. There's all kinds of scrap metal and crap sitting here. Rhubarb. See a piece of the marble here.
You are a picture freak.
Access to the roof there. Just taking some video. There you go. That must be the pool over there. We're told not to go over there. It's not too safe or something. No. But see outside of it. See where it got bombed right there.
Wow, she walked right in my picture.
Yeah, we walk right. He only came about 7 or 8 times, but Victory over at Brandon is a residence now, so we don't go through the palace, but we can take a quick look inside the lobby area once I tell you about this stuff here. But if you look above the doorway here, what looks like a smiley face, those are actual helmets that belong to Iranian soldiers from the Iran-Iraq War. Saddam kept those up there as a little souvenir. You'll see that some of them have Arabic writing on them. Those are the names of the soldiers, and some of them also have the ranks on there. They say that when they cleared out this palace, they found 2 clear casings inside that held the bones of Iranian soldiers. So you have the bones inside, and then these helmets right out here. Now you'll notice 2 passages here. That passage here that he owns, that he was in 1998, and then he had to rebuild and rededicate it here. He actually never made this house, but that's what he said. His military man damaged it in some way. That's what he said to do. So he's playing
I think that's real money. He's like,
scratched off there is his name that was certified the ground. But here, there's another passage that is a scripture straight out of the Quran, and again, it's scratched off. It's Saddam's name. Saddam usually liked to inject himself into the Quran as if he were in the Quran itself, so you'd see a scripture and then bam, Saddam's name in the middle of it, which we know was not in the Quran, but that's what he would do. I'll point out some buildings. That 2-story building there, that was believed to have been Saddam's personal brothel. That's where he could keep his ladies. You'll notice that on the railings there are hearts that go all the way around. In between each heart are Saddam's initials. Saddam had 14 different ways of writing his initials. He wanted to be remembered here in Iraq in life or death, and he definitely is. His legacy does live on. But you'll find his initials throughout all the palaces, all the building structures, everywhere. And right next to that middle building there was believed to
come in through those front doors. This is just the lobby part when you first walk in the door.
This is just a smaller one. You'll notice the bath party house symbol here on the ground. You'll see that throughout the
Bath party symbol.
everywhere. And this right up here, you'll find a similar design over at the bath party house and the alcohol palace as well. So similar designs throughout the.
Does the other one have the big cranes next to it?
Take this off, it's kind of dark in there, so when your eyes can adjust. Also, when you're going up and down the stairs, just please form a single file line. The staircases here have no handrails, no banisters. Fall it's straight to the ground, you're born yourself. So please be extra careful. All right, so flat wire.
This is the Victory over America Palace. It's huge. I bet you that's 70 feet in the air. Wow. This is the door we just walked in. I wonder if the army's been here.
Survived a war, he was victorious, hence the victory over Iran Palace on the other side. Iran-Iraq war, no real winner, but he survived it, so he considered it a victory. He was aiming on gaining victory over America. Obviously, he didn't get that, but that was his goal. Construction on this palace started in 1997 and ended in 2003, courtesy of 2 JDAMs from an F-15E, so thanks to the Air Force. It's a huge, huge palace. It's the biggest palace to date. It's got about 75 bedrooms and bathrooms on both sides, 2 lower-level ballrooms, one of which we're in, and a pool-like fountain structure in the basement, so really huge. It's also bigger than the Al-Fa Palace over on Victory. Now, the way Saddam was paying for this palace was through the UN embargo, the Oil for Food program. Basically, all the money that the U.S. sent over here for food, medicine, all that good stuff came into this palace right here. So we kind of paid for it. Now we tour it. But if you look around this ballroom here, you'll notice that there's a passage going around the middle. That is a poem straight out of the Quran. In between each part, you'll notice an emblem. Those, again, are Saddam's initials, one of the 14 different ways he'd write his initials. Now, above the doorway there, where we first came in, you'll notice another passage there that says, in the name of God, Allah. And right up here on the ceiling, that passage that also goes all the way around, that says, victory only comes from God. So, again, lots of religious messages and his initials throughout. But you'll notice that that area there is darkened in, and this center portion right up here is also darkened. Trying to prove a point. Don't name a palace after America or else it will get hit. There was no one in here, it was under construction, but it still got hit twice. So you can see that they were working on it. You'll see darkened areas throughout. Now, to the right of that, you'll notice the wooden placards, the area of writing on them. Those are the instructions on how to paint that top part right up there. They like to keep the instructions nice and handy. They basically painted by numbers, one guy being red, one guy blue, and the instructions nearby, so keeping it nice and simple for everyone, so they can get the job done and not get killed. Now, if you guys look at the floors, they don't look done, but they actually are. They would start with the floors first. They would lay down the mixture of marble, put a sheet of plastic on top, and then this concrete slab, which is what we're walking on. Once they were done with the entire palace, they would just ship this off, and ta-da, there's the marble floors. So this here is just a protective layer. So all the floors are done throughout. When we head up the stairs, you'll notice, you'll see the marble floor, and you'll see the concrete that's actually falling out. This one would have been used for, but maybe some sort of performance hall, concert hall. You'll see seating there on the second level, and I don't know, maybe they would have hung a big old disco ball in the middle, I'm not sure. But you'll see speakers going all the way around on top also. So just one of many ballrooms throughout the palace. All right, guys, whenever you're ready, you can follow me this way. Hands laid out here. We usually have EOD come by with their canine units and different canine units. They'll come by and train here, so they'll have the dogs sniff stuff out. So that's laid out there for them, not throwing any wild parties in here or anything like that. But we definitely try to utilize the palace, not just for the tours, but for training, storage, But if you look straight ahead, you'll see that brick wall there. That was going to be the grand entrance into the victory over Iran Palace. This is where both palaces are connected. From the outside, it looks like one huge palace, but there are actually 2. The victory over Iran, and then this side, victory over America. That was going to be the grand entrance there. In here, you'll also notice some elevators. This elevator over here, the little entryway, that was going to be Saddam's personal elevator, and then this one over here, an elevator for everybody else. They like to keep things separate. Very creepy guy. Not sure if you've heard, but Saddam was a huge, huge germaphobe. Took about 4 to 5 showers a day. Didn't like any skin contact, really picky. Here in the Arab world, the way they greet each other is with this on the cheek, where you can see. Saddam didn't want any of that. He would have his people greet him in his arm area. Go figure, I know, but that's what he would do. You'll see him in some documentaries. You'll see where he's just standing there and people are lined up to kiss him right there. So really, really creepy. Another reason why you'll find a lot of that throughout the Now, when we're going up the steps here, you'll notice what I was mentioning earlier about the floors. You'll see the mixture of marble, the marble floor laid out, the sheet of plastic, and then the concrete slab that's fallen off. Now, speaking of the marble here isn't legit 100% marble. It's actually a mixture of granite, gypsum, and salt. So cheap Saddam had a ton of money to shell out for really good materials, and was still trying to be cheap. So the marble is cheap. The chandeliers that we'll see over at the Bath Party House are cheap, and just aluminum and everything else. It's just a big facade, pretty much, all of his palaces.
If you see, this is where we just were down here.
Right up here, not as much damage, but that's where it hit. When we head upstairs to the rooftop, you'll be able to see a little bit more of that damage. Now, when you guys head outside to this balcony out here, you'll see Flintstone Village. I'm sure you've seen it before. It looks like a little mini bedrock. Flintstone Village was for Saddam's grandkids. It was a mini palace for the grandkids. It came about when Uday and Qusay killed their brother-in-laws. The brother-in-laws had been exiled from Iraq. They had betrayed Saddam. They were spilling secrets to the CIA, doing all sorts of things. They were exiled from the country, fled to Jordan, spent some time there. And after a couple days, weeks, Saddam called them back. He said, you know what, guys, it's okay. You can come back to the country. I'll give you a pardon. Can't speak for the Bath Party House members, but I say it's okay, so you guys should be fine. And he mainly did that because the brother-in-laws, the son-in-laws had his daughters, their wives. So he called them back, they come back to the country, and a couple of days later, Uday and Qusay and the Bath Party House members are knocking on their door, killed them, shot them, dragged them through the streets of Baghdad to basically prove a point. We do this for our own family, just imagine what we would do to you. We don't care who you are, don't mess with us. So once that happened, that mini palace came up for the kids. Kind of Saddam's way of saying, we killed your dads, but here's a house. Really sorry. It was the only structure, it's the only structure here on BBC that wasn't on the original blueprint because it was so last minute. But it's believed that Saddam used to watch the Flintstones with his kids, his grandkids, so that's why it's named Flintstone Village. But it was fully staffed, had about 10 bedrooms and bathrooms, it's got an elevator in there. You guys can check it out whenever you'd like. It's open 24/7, hence all the graffiti that's been done, so please don't add to that, but you guys can check it out.
Bring a flashlight.
Said that's Qusay's. Qusay and Qusay's palace. All over there.
Is that the perfume one? Oh no, that's actually small.
No, the one way on the hill, way in the background.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's Flintstone Village there.
Watch your step. These staircases here are a lot more narrow. It's kind of dark and the steps are uneven. So pretty dangerous floor. So please be careful, you guys, to follow me.
We're on the roof now. Right here, probably get a better picture. Guessing this is the motor for lifting the elevator. You can see cables going through there and stuff. Probably like an elevator shaft. Dealy. Okay, this here's pretty much on top of the palace. We're on the roof, and you have this is looking up. Whoa, that made me freak out a little bit.
Hey Zaniga, come hold this side real quick.
We didn't unpack all the flags.
On the hill. That's Camo Hill right there. What that hill is all these lakes right here were dug out, and that's where they put all the dirt right there from it.
Yes, I am. I can make you use the step. You're right, probably out.
I'll put in your picture every day until you leave, okay? I'll make you happy.
I was gonna get a picture. I just didn't get a picture.
We're probably, oh, I don't know, way up here though. I have no idea. How many stories? Don't. How many stories do you think we're up? 6?
Well, we were just up 3, so we went up another
4
1.
stories of palace stories.
Yeah.
Is that like a story and a half each?
Three-story house up. We saw that earlier. So on the second wife's mother-in-law's house. Directly in front of us, you'll see the perfume palace, kind of shaped like a perfume bottle. That was believed to have been a brothel for the back party house members. That's where they would keep their ladies in there. At the front entrance, which is on the other side, there's a long passage in Arabic that's a poem about perfume. They say that when they cleared out that palace, it just reeked of perfume just because of all the women that were in there just spraying it up. So that's the perfume palace there. You'll notice a lot of little islands out here in the middle of the lakes. 2 islands there, a little structure out there. Here in the Arab world, not only does water signify power, but there's also no sin on water. So that's where the bathroom housewives would go with their ladies to have some tea, you know, whatever they'd like to do. And
Drink
it would
coffee.
be a-okay because there's no sin on water. So they could just hang out there and have a small time. Alright, so Camel Hill, we've got Camel Hill there. Now, a lot of the Camel Hills on the other camps, the dirt has come from the lakes, but this dirt, I've been told, came from Baia when Saddam constructed that whole area over there. There was a cemetery there that belonged to the Al Farad neighborhood, a group right outside the wire, that Saddam was not a fan of. So he figured, once he was done with the airport, he figured that would be a great spot for all the dirt. So he put the dirt on top of the cemetery, which is now our Camel Hill. Not very nice. Straight down Victory Lane, you'll see Uday's house where we started. Hit the J Dam. Behind that, you'll see the back party house. Also hit with some J Dams and a Tomahawk Room. And at a greater distance, you'll see the Al Fall Palace, another presidential palace. Over to the helipad. That's where Saddam could land, get picked up by motorboat, go to where he needed to go. You'll notice that there's a perimeter that goes all the way around the helipad. Urban legend is that some sort of underground room, underground dance floor existed under there. Not quite sure, but it's very possible that Saddam was planning on building an underground room or had one already. He was into the bunker systems, into the underground tunnels and all of that.
Helo pad right there.
2 houseboats here on Flare that are both underwater. Story behind those is that a couple years ago, some high-ranking officers were fighting over who got to stay where.
Look at the grass.
When
And white.
command at the time got
Behind it.
so nobody that simple. So those have been underwater for the past couple of years. I had some generals on the shore not too long ago, and they said that, yeah, I remember that story. I know exactly who that general was, so don't know. What else? Like I said earlier, Saddam was a germaphobe, and he also didn't like the heat very much. Bad place to live, Iraq, but he didn't like the heat, so he had AC everywhere, throughout all the palaces, outside on decks, outside on patios, you name it. Some of the structures out here, like the Brits' house, where the Brits were, they had vents outside on their patios, so they wanted to get AC out there, they could. Well, not the Brits. Around the palace, it looks like they're working on the palace, but we're not. Since they were working on this palace back in '97. For a while, the story had been that they belonged to a French construction company, but right now, Garrison is working on finding out who exactly they belong to, just because we're trying to get rid of them. Not the safest to have them up there. That one twirls around every once in a while. That one's already toppled over. But we recently had an Iraqi come over and said that they belong to it. So, not sure, but they should be gone in the next couple of months. Last thing is behind us here. As you can see, it kind of fits like a horseshoe. You can see the outer portions up here. Alright. Do you guys have any questions? No? Alright, whenever you guys are.
So we're going down these stairs right
Here, this area here belonged to the Republican Guard, the military, Saddam's military. This is where they worked and trained, sorry. They had that building over there, some offices, a cafeteria, which was also bombed out with a couple of J-dams. Of course, you see here Saddam's mural. I'm sure you've heard Saddam had his picture all the country. The majority have been torn down, but this is one of about 4 or 5 that still exist. Spiker near the IZ. There was one other one by Camp Iraqi Heroes, which was between Slayer and Victory, but that was just recently painted over by the Iraqis, so that leaves this one here. But you can see that Saddam in this picture is wearing his military uniform. He's got a bunch of medals, very decorated soldier. Quick note, Saddam was never in the military. He pretty much killed his way to the top, so it's kind of funny. He just gave himself all that stuff, so his own version of a PX Ranger. So see that there? You see the back party house symbol here on the ground. You'll see that throughout, and some silhouettes on the back wall. You'll see those. That's where the soldiers put psycho weapons. They're on their weapons. Wouldn't actually shoot, because then they can one of your kids over at but they can just kind of psycho weapons there.
Also, it's
Here, so I'll give you guys some time to
bath party house here. I think.
I don't know, but
that corner, dining room in that corner, conference room, and then the pool over here. Now this was the first building that was hit at the beginning of the war when President Bush said he was going to bomb Iraq in 48 hours and did it in 24 hours and started with this building here, with that room actually. We call that the Tomahawk Room because it was hit with a tomahawk, ding ding ding, yes. There were about 250 people waiting in that room for a meeting with Saddam when it hit. 200 bodies were incinerated, 50 other people that were in there were pulled out, but everyone, did not make it. They say we missed Saddam by about 15 minutes. He was on his way over here for that meeting when it hit. I'm sure you heard the news and did a quick U-turn in the other direction, but they were all gathered in there, Bath Party House members, military leaders, all that good stuff. So let's see, I'll point out some things in here. If you look right up here, you'll notice that turquoise football-sized emblem. Those again are Saddam's initials, one of the 14 different ways, so you'll see that. His initials are pretty consistent throughout the Bath Party House. If you ever head over to the sPalace, you'll notice that same exact design over there as well. Back here you'll find some bathrooms. You'll see those yellow markings throughout the structure. Now that's when they completely cleared out the building. You'll see the first engineers on top, the date when they were done, and NA stands for no bodies, no body parts out of that room there. However, as I said earlier, there were bodies in there, but you won't find those yellow markings in there just because the room pretty much just burst into flames, so they didn't mark it up. Here you'll notice a difference between the Tomahawk and the JDAM. JDAM does a lot more structural damage, that's what hit that area there, and the Tomahawk is more of an incendiary, sort of just burst.
JDAM over there.
One other thing about that auditorium, they say that they found a movie tape in the projection room when they cleared it out. Any ideas what that movie was? Any ideas? Pop quiz? No. Okay.
Black Hawk Down? Oh.
No, not Black Hawk Down. That's a good guess, though. Oh. Pretty Woman. They say they found that movie in there. Not sure if they were watching the movie or about to watch the movie, but that's the tape that they found. So, good old Julia Roberts flick. Now, when you guys head down this hallway here, you'll see a piece of glass that's stuck in the wall there from when all these windows here shattered. You'll see some of the drapes are still hanging. You'll see boat dock there. Got 2 boat docks here. In that back corner, you'll find the dining room. Now, the claim to fame for the dining room was the chandelier. At the time, Saddam had the longest running chandelier in the world, went all the way around the room. And as I mentioned earlier, the chandeliers here are cheap. They're just aluminum painted gold with little plastic pieces going all the way around. But the chandelier back there is dangling because that room was hit with the JDAM, so it's not the longest anymore, but it was, so you guys can check that out. They also say that's where Dan Rather, the journalist, interviewed Saddam when he did, in that back room back there. Straight ahead, you can see where the second JDAM hit in that corner over there, the far corner to the left. That's where you'll find the conference room. You'll see pieces of furniture in there, like parts of an oval table, table legs, things like that. There's also a kitchen in that back area, so you can check that out. When you come down this hallway, you'll see the other boat dock, and then finally in this corner, you'll see the pool. Now, the pool here was actually never filled with water. It was just used for executions and torturings and things of that nature. I know, not a good guy. But that's what Saddam tended to use the pools for. I've had plenty of Iraqis that come on the tour and they're like, yep, there was a pool in my neighborhood and it was never filled with water because it was just used for that reason, If anyone was against Saddam, that's where they would go and be done with. So you'll find a pool in there. There is like a blood splat next to one of the ladders. I'm sure whoever was executed there or tortured there, once they were done with them, they wiped off the blood. But the dust and the dirt had settled in that same spot, so it's come back up. We had a forensics person come on the tour and they verified that that's exactly what it was. So you guys can check that out. That's next to one of the ladders in there. You'll see Saddam's initials on the wall as well, and there's a bedroom size room upstairs. It's the only room where we believe Saddam may have spent the night if he did want to stay here. It's the only room that's got an adjoining bathroom and an office. So you guys can check that out. You'll notice the construction here isn't the greatest. You'll see bricks were just stuffed into the wall. You'll find a bunch of bottles in there, cans, just a big old mess. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. This is the last stop, so whenever you guys are ready, you guys can head out. Have a great day.
See this chair here? All mangled. Look like a nice chair.
Used to be a big.
Yeah, this here's the Tomahawk Room. Just see where that Tomahawk came in and just destroyed the whole thing. Bunch of old chairs. What did they say, 200 people were killed in here?
Yeah, about, I think they said 200 people.
200 people, I figure. We're in here waiting for a big conference that...
We missed Saddam by 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to go see the blood splatter on the fucking
Yeah.
on the pool.
Yeah, I'll get over there. Wait, you can just see where the wall buckled there? Yeah, which means here this must have been like a handicap bathroom here. Big one. This is some of the, like you can see where like broken sinks and stuff. This is like the regular bathroom. Got all these doorways here. But you can see where like all the plaster and marble and everything just laying here on the ground. Boat landings here. Wow. You just see the money that was put into this place. Right here, this is a piece of glass that's stuck in the wall from these big windows. But flew across this hallway and it's stuck in the wall right there. There's that chandelier there, talk about. All the way around. See, they say a chandelier, but to me that ain't that impressive. Maybe with all the glass on it or whatever, it would look more impressive, but just an old empty room here. Nice door though. This is just a big like conference room. Must be.
Oh, all the dust.
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking, like a big round table. Yeah. This is the pool room, that one that they said I was never filled with water because they used to do executions here. What, where's it at?
Next to the ladder.
Oh, all that dirt and shit right there? Oh. Yeah, that right there I guess is where blood was from somebody that was killed, executed in here. All splattered on there.